Welcome to Maxi Life Wellness Fridays featuring Ready to Rebound. Again, I'm Patricia Bermudez. He's on your host for this event. We all know that the pandemic has affected a lot of people, and we have to admit many are discouraged, disappointed, or simply stop living. This talk will really give everyone the inspiration that they need to rebound or bounce back to life, grasp what is in store for them, and soar higher than before. I'm really excited for all of us. So let's meet our speaker. He is a best-selling author of more than 60 books. He's founded many ministries that help the poorest of the poor, such as Anawim, a special home for the abandoned elderly, Grace to be Born, which is a center for pregnant women in crisis, and so many other wonderful things. He started a media ministry, a counseling ministry, and a community called Light of Jesus Family that's found in 36 countries. Privately, he also started the Truly Rich Club that has helped thousands learn financial stewardship, and Catholic Filipino Academy homeschooling to help parents teach their kids at home. He is also an entrepreneur to support his family, in this way, and for many, many years now, he has refused to get paid a salary from all his ministries, and he also donates his book royalties to the mission. Above all these, he believes that his first call from God is to be a loving husband to his wife Maru and a devoted father to his sons Benedict and Francis. Let us all welcome Brother Bo Sanchez.
Yay! Thank you, Pat. Thank you so much. And hi, everybody. I am so happy, so excited to be with you today. To all the Maxicare family, I am one with you, and this is going to be an amazing time. So, is everybody ready? I want to have a dialogue with you. Ayoko yung ako lang nagsasalita. I want you to dialogue with me, and I want you to type this in the chat that you are ready to be blessed. Just say that with me. Confess it. I am ready to be blessed. Type it down. Type it down. I want you to declare it. Ayoko sana isang, parang talk lang to, na pagkatapos ng talk, sasabihin mo, ay, okay, narinig ko yung talk, okay naman siya. I don't want that. I want you to have an experience in this message. Na habang nagto-talk ako, gusto ko that you will be moved, you will be blessed, you will experience God's presence in your life. And so that's going to be my prayer. Thank you so much. Thank you. Are you ready? I will just dive in right now. I'm going to share with you my slides, and this is going to be powerful, everybody. This is going to be amazing. So this is what I want to do. I want to share with you right now. The title of my talk is Ready to Rebound. Your outlook will change your outcome. And I have 3 questions. And what I want you to do is write down in the chat your answers. And kung pwedeng personal, isulat mo rin sa notebook. If you have a piece of paper in front of you, a ball pen, write it down also, kasi gusto ko personal. At the same time, share it in the chat so that because we're one community. To all the 700 plus people who are here right now, question number 1 is to list down 3 things that you like about yourself. Ano yung gusto mo sa sarili mo? Whether it be, I'm sure a lot of you will say, I'm handsome. But what are the three things that you like about yourself? Maybe you can say, well, mabait ako. Naks naman. Or, I'm a good husband, I'm a good wife. I don't know. You write down what you like about yourself. Ang ganda. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you, thank you. 3 things. Many times kasi we put down ourselves. Puro tayo, we criticize ourselves. We are our worst critics. Alam nyo ba yon? Kaya first question pa lang, gusto ko palitan mo yung pananaw mo sa sarili mo, your view, your perspective of yourself, that there's stuff in you that you like, you really do. And so I want you to write that down very quickly. Are you ready for question number 2? Question number 2 are, what are the 3 things about your life that you are most grateful for? Medyo similar sa number 1, pero hindi rin eksakto. I want you to look at your whole life and what are you most grateful for? Maybe you can say, I have a job. I can put food on the table. I'm healthy, generally healthy. I'm, whatever you want to put there, write it down. And what are you most grateful for in your life? 3 things. Now, again, this is very important. What I'm doing now in these questions is I'm preparing you for this message. Kasi napakahalaga, ha? Na laging tinitingnan mo yung blessings mo. I'm going to explain that in a while. Because if you do not do that, you'll be carried away by the negativity around you, the negativity of the news. Ay naku, magkakaroon ka talaga ng mga depression at discouragement at disappointment at frustration pag hindi mo tinitingnan ang blessings mo. So you want to look at the 3 things that you're most grateful for in life. Are you ready for question number 3? Thank you so much for writing all of that in the chat box. Question number 3, ito na. List down 3 persons in your life that genuinely love you. Alam mo na mahal ka in their own imperfect way. Siyempre, hindi naman sila perfecto. So, yung pagmamahal nila sa'yo, genuine, pero hindi perfect. Do you have at least 3 people in your life that you know mahal ka? Write them down. Maybe it's a mother, maybe it's a spouse, maybe it's a child, maybe it's a best friend. I want you to write down. The reason why I'm doing this at the start of my talk, wala pang talk, may tanong na. Reflection ka agad. Usually may talk yan. After that, reflection sa huli. Hindi. Reflection question sa umpisa. Because I'm already preparing you to receive God's message for you, for your life, how to rebound. How to rebound in a situation like this. Thank you so much for sharing. Ang gaganda ng mga answers nyo. Here is basically what I want to share with you. I'm going to share with you 8 actions that you need to take so that you can rebound. Are you ready? The first action, wala to, very simple. I pray. Ito, dasal ko talaga that magkaroon kayo ng bagong pananaw sa buhay as you listen to me. First action, give yourself the gift. Brother Bo, anong gift? What are you talking about? Kasi the purpose is to rebound, di ba? So may crisis tayo, tama. May pandemic, tama. Economically, naapekto tayo, tama. May takot tayo, yes. I was looking at your answers to the survey kanina ni Patricia. Grabe, worry, anxiety, majority, discouragement. Most of you answered yes. What should you do? 8 things that you should do. The first thing is you need to give yourself the gift of, what gift? Are you ready? Are you ready? The gift of the crisis. Brother Bo, teka muna. Parang mali yata yung sinabi mo. Hindi. You've got to give yourself the gift of the crisis. Brother Bo, anong crisis? Yung the crisis na nangyayari. Gift ba yan? Ay, nako. Let me share something with you. And this is something people don't understand. No? People don't understand this. You may have very little control over what happens to you, but you have total control over what you do to what happens to you. Can you read it with me? Aloud. Gusto ko aloud. You may have very little control over what happens to you, but you have total control over what you do to what happens to you. What does that mean? I'm sharing to you that perspective is everything. Lahat ng bagay, yung perspective, napakahalaga. How you look at an object changes that object. What does that mean? Tanong, ano yung default question mo pagising mo sa umaga? Pagising mo lang sa umaga, ano yung unang tanong na tinatanong mo? For many people that I have met and I have counseled, ito, what is wrong? Yun lagi ang tanong nila. Ano yung mali? Ano yung kulang? Ay nako, have you ever woken up that way? May kilala ba kayong ganun ang gising niya? Ay nako, buwisit na araw to. Anong mga problema na naman. You know, there are people who wake up like that. The default question is, ano ang mali? Ano ang kulang? Ano ang problema? And that is why I want, when during the whole pandemic, ang tagal-tagal na ng pandemic, more than a year na to, I want you to know that inulan, binaha yung inbox ko, yung messenger ko. Thousands of people asked me, Brother Bo, saklolo, Brother Bo, prayer, Brother Bo, pagpakidasal naman. Depressed ako. Alam mo, ang dami kong natanggap. Brother Bo, please pray for me. Ang lungkot ko. Brother Bo, punong-puno ako ng takot. Ang dami nagsabi sa akin, Brother Bo, sa gitna ng araw, iyak na lang ako ni iyak. Brother Bo, my body is shaking. Ang daming nagsabi ng ganyan. And because of that, they asked me, anong dapat kong gawin? What I did was I wrote down instructions. And then I would send them things that they should do when they are depressed, pag may anxiety attack sila, meron silang panic, na hindi nila alam anong gagawin nila. Depressed na eh. So I want you to listen to this. I share them that they need to sit down, get a notebook, and then write down 100 blessings. My dear friends, I want you to know, sinabi ko talaga to. Alam ko malulula kayo. 100 blessings, parang ang dami naman. Hindi. Force yourself to write that you have 100 blessings in your life. Katulad, alam mo, big blessings, okay yan. Pero isulat mo yung mga small blessings because those small blessings are the ones that you take for granted. Ay nako, you can see, you can hear, you can smell, you can taste, you can stand up, you can walk, you can raise your right hand, you can raise your left hand, you can breathe. Lahat yan, you can put food on the table, there's a roof over your head. Lahat yan, blessings ng Diyos, isulat mo. Alam nyo, do you know, when people started doing this, kasi ganyan sulat sa akin, Brother Bo, depressed ako, anong gagawin ko? Brother Bo, I have an anxiety attack, hindi ko alam anong gagawin ko. I tell them, eto gawin mo. Nakasulat na yan. Step by step, I write. I tell them, brothers and sisters, my dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, sumusulat pabalik yung mga tao. May picture pa, naka-attach yung photos ng notebook nila kung saan sila nakasulat ng 100 blessings. And this is what they tell me. Brother Bo, nung ginawa ko, biglang lumiwanag yung buhay ko. Yung parang may nag-on ng light switch from darkness to light. Parang ibang klase yung nangyari. I'll tell you why. When you do this, what you're doing is you're changing your perspective. When your perspective changes, you change. The crisis that was supposed to be very dark, all of a sudden, nagbabago. Let me tell you why. I'll tell you why. Problema. Pag may problema ka, this is what happens. Wala kang nakikita kundi ang problema. Kasi close up eh. Wala kang ito kunyari, ito yung problema mo. Wala kang nakikita kundi problema. That's all you see. But when someone forces himself to be grateful, to count his blessings, ito nangyayari, you're taking one step backward. You're taking one step backward. Lumiliit yung problema because you're realizing your life is not just your problems. Your life, yes, has problems, but your life also has blessings. In fact, you realize, I hope you're listening, you realize that your problems are only 10% of your life. You realize that 90% of your life are blessings. Are blessings. That's what I want you to do. Second action. So that's number one. Number one, give yourself the gift of the crisis. Action number two, dream your dream. Do not stop dreaming. In the midst of the crisis, wag mo sabihin, madilim, hopeless, daming problema. Hindi. You've got to keep on dreaming. Mangarap pa rin. You need to start dreaming. One of the most glaring differences between successful and unsuccessful people is the time frame of their thinking. We do a lot of work for the poor. Kami, maraming mga ministries for the poor tayo. And I would, there was a time when I was living in a slum area doing ministry work. And then for 3 years, nakatira ako sa isang lugar na inaalagaan namin yung mga matatanda. We called it Anawim. It's a Hebrew word which means the poor of the Lord. So doon ako nakatira for 3 years. Inaalagaan yung mga lolo't, mga lola, mga ampon. And I want you to know that, so when I talk with very poor people, and people, I notice something eh. Naririnig ko yung mga conversation nila. Tapos, I also have in my life, business mentors, mga bilyonaryo, mga sobrang successful sa buhay. Alam mo, when I talk with these people, ibang-iba, di ba? Poorest of the poor, yung mga slum area, kasi doon ako nagme-ministry. Tapos, nakikipag-usap rin ako sa mga napaka-successful. Alam mo, nakikita ko yung pagkakaiba eh. Yung kanilang long-term thinking, tsaka short-term thinking. Yung mga successful sa buhay, long-term mag-isip. Pero yung mga taong hindi masyadong successful, usually they only think about anong makakain ko today, anong makakain ko bukas, ito yung gagawin ko itong bukas. Yun lang. Pero yung mga successful people, 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years in advance mag-isip, nangangarap. And that's what I want to share with you today. You need to keep on dreaming. Alam ko mahirap ang buhay. Alam ko right now your heart may be filled with pain. Right now, you have a relationship problem. Right now, duguan ang puso mo. Right now, broken-hearted ka. Right now, may problema sa pera. Whatever you're experiencing right now, my dear friend, I hope you're listening to me. I hope you're listening to me. You can still dream. Your future is still brighter than your past. And do not let your past define you. Alam mo, may problema ka ngayon, but the storm will pass. Lahat ng bagyo natatapos. Alam mo ba yon? Lahat ng kadiliman, gabi, masyadong madilim. I want you to know that the morning will rise in your life. Can I declare that right now? I want you to accept that in your heart. I want you to say that. I want you to confess that. Write that down in your chat. The blessings will come. Sa Tagalog, darating ang blessing. I want you to believe that the blessings will come in your life. Mangarap ka. Have dreams in your life. If you find a big enough reason to change something in your life, you can change absolutely anything. I want to go to number 3. Number 3 is that you need to rise to a rhythm. Number 3, rise to a rhythm. You want to rebound from the crisis? Ay nako, kailangan may rhythm ka. Anong ibig sabihin nun? You need to have magnificent mornings. Alam mo, may problema tayo. Ang problema ng mga tao, yung mornings nila na hijack ng ano? Ganito magising ang maraming tao. Nasa kama pa lang. Ha? Ang unang gagawin, kukunin yung cellphone. Nakahiga pa lang to Tapos, ang mangyayari, habang nakahiga, nagsuscroll na ng newsfeed ng Facebook. Do you know what appears in your newsfeed, my dear friend? Anything that's alarming, terrifying, anything that's scary. Why? Kaya nga popular Kaya nga popular kasi nakakatakot, nangangamba mga tao. Yun ang binabasa mo at the start of the morning. No wonder you are depressed. No wonder you are frustrated. No wonder you are scared. No wonder you are worried. My dear friend, baguhin mo yung mornings mo. If you win the morning, you win the day. I repeat, if you win the morning, you win the day. Have magnificent mornings. Many people have miserable mornings. Do you know what I do? What I do is when I wake up in the morning, I go before God and I say, thank you, Lord. Ha? Nagpapasalamat sa blessings. Napakahalaga. Ha? I meditate, and then after meditation, I exercise. And after exercise, I spend time with the people I love. You know, magnificent mornings. What I love to do is I put my hand, pag meditation ko, what I love to do is I put my hands over my chest. Tapos sinasabi ko, I am totally, completely, and perfectly loved. I love saying that. Tapos inuulit-ulit ko, I am totally, completely, and perfectly loved. You know, ulit yan, ulit yan. I feel so good. I do it in the morning. It spells the difference. Yung talagang it defines who I am in my day. And that's what I want you to do. In fact, it's connected to the fourth action. You've got to manage your media. You've got to manage your media. I'm telling people, itong natatanggap natin sa telepono, you know, sa social media, control it, please. Kasi if lahat ng nababasa mo negative, ay nako, ganyan ang mangyayari sa iyo. You need to control it. And ito, my advice is this. Ito, shameless plug, ha? Because choose what you have to receive every day. Imbes na negative, manood na lang kayo sa mga short videos ko. Shameless plug. Araw-araw, I put up a short video, napakaikli, you know, sa aking Brother Bo Sanchez Facebook page. Follow me there. Every day, just watch something inspiring, watch something that will refresh you. Watch that and allow God to speak to you. Araw-araw, have a fresh morning, a beautiful morning. Number 5, build your body. You want to rebound in the crisis? Nako, alagaan nyo yung katawan mo. Magbibigay ako ng 4 na basics lang, ha? Kasi what are these 4 basics? Alam niya na to, but I need to remind you because we forget. Sleep. Alam mo, maraming tao, a lot of people do not get enough sleep. No wonder you're discouraged. No wonder nanghihina ka. No wonder! Ha? Ano ka? Annoyed and irritable. Kulang ka sa tulog, napaka-basic. I read a study, recent study to, ha? People, on average, 98-97% of people kailangan ng sleep between 7 to 9 hours of sleep. Yan po. May mga nagsasabi kasi, hindi, maski 4 hours lang ako, okay na ako. Siguro you're part of the 2% or 3% of the population, pero 97% of the world, kailangan daw between 7 to 9 hours. I have been trying to do this in my life, you know. Dati kasi ganun ako 5 hours, okay na. Alam mo, sinubukan ko, hinaba ko yung tulog ko, napaka talaga refreshing. And I become more confident and more peaceful in my life. My dear friends, I'm telling you, yung alarm clock nyo, gamitin nyo pero wag sa umaga. Ay nako, wag sa umaga. Alarm clock sa gabi. What do I mean? I-alarm mo yung alarm clock mo, what time you should sleep. Friends, say this after me. Huh? Say this after me. Ito, natatawa ako kasi maraming tao nagsisinungaling sa kanilang sarili. Alam mo, what are they lying about? Ito, marami sa atin, we lie to ourselves. Brother Bo, ano yun? Ito, 1 episode na lang. Yan. Yan yung kasinungalingan. Yun ang lie ng maraming tao. 1 episode na lang. Hindi. Ang sarap Cliffhanger. Naku, ano kaya susunod? 1 more episode. Pagkatapos 1 more episode. Ayan. Natulog ng alas 3 ng umaga. Kailangan bumangon ng 6 in the morning. Ayan, 3 hours lang yung sleep. Kaibigan, if you want to rebound, alagaan yung tulog. Ha? Importante. Psalms 127 verse 2 says, "It is useless to work so hard for a living, getting up early and going to bed late, for the Lord provides those He loves while they are asleep." Habang tulog daw tayo, binibless tayo ng Panginoon. Di ba? Ang ganda. Water. Very important to drink a lot of water. Especially if you are my age. Friends, if you're my age, meron daw, nagkakaroon ng problema yung katawan. Now, we don't feel anymore our thirst. And so we need to be regular about our water intake. Sunlight is important. That's why I love to exercise outside kasi may sunlight. You know, I had COVID. I want you to know that I had COVID. And it was pretty serious. And then my doctor told me, if you have, Brother Bo, if you have vitamin D, panlaban yan sa COVID. And so that's what I did. I went to the backyard and I got really a lot of sunlight. Very, very important. And movement, of course, or exercise. So what you don't use, you lose. Number 6, focus on your family. If you want to rebound, work on your relationships. My key word is you've got to be deliberate. Deliberate ka ba? Kasi yung relationships, if you're not gonna work on it, it's gonna fail. Mark my words. Mark my words. A great relationship doesn't just happen. Yung biglang, ay okay na kami mag-asawa, okay na kami mag-anak, you know, wala, anong ginawa mo? No, you have to work. Work on those relationships. And what should you do? Create patterns of connection. You know, I've been married for 23 years already. 23 years married, and I have a great relationship. I have a happy marriage. Can I share why? For 23 years, one reason is this, why I'm happy in our marriage, why I have an amazing, amazing relationship with my wife. I'll tell you why. For 23 years, we had a weekly date all those 20 years. Every single week, may date kami. And we would go deep in our conversation. Importante yun eh. I always tell married couples, alam mo, bago kayo kinasal, may mga date naman kayo eh. Ang dalas nga eh. Tapos after the wedding, wala na. No, you need to give time to each other and work on that relationship. I also have dates with my sons. Dalawa po anak ko, 21 and 16. And we have dates together. It's important that you give time. And then step 2. Ito, sasabihin mo sa akin, ano yan, Brother Bo? Parang ang corny. No, please no. I have talked to a lot of married couples na naghiwalay or malapit na maghiwalay. And here's what I noticed. Hindi lang nawala ang romance. Nawala ang respeto sa isa't isa. The solution is not to bring back the romance. Susunod na yun. Ang importante, bumalik ang respeto. And it comes from being kind. Are you kind? Napaka-basic. Here's the reality. Say yes if you agree. Sometimes, we're kinder to strangers than to our own family. Yes or no? Yes or no? We are kinder to strangers than to our family. May kwento ako sa inyo habang sumasagot kayo ng yes. I went to this family, I went to this house, I knock on the door. Bukas ang pintuan, yung tatay. Tuwang-tuwa siya, nakita niya ako. Brother Bo, ang blessed naman ang bahay namin. Bumisita ka, I cannot believe it. You know? So, he was praising me to the high heavens. Talagang bow siya sa akin. You know, pinupuri niya ako. Halika, Brother Bo, pasok ka, pasok ka. Pumasok ako. Pinaupo ko sa sala. Sit down, Brother Bo. Yung anak niya, binata, nasa dining room, nagvi-video games. Alam mo ginawa ng tatay? With a rolled up newspaper, lumapit sa anak. Binatukan! Hoy! Nandito si Brother Bo! Batiin mo! So yung anak lumapit sa akin. Nagmano. Hiyang-hiya ako. I really felt embarrassed. I felt ashamed. Why? Because the father, this guy, was praising me to the highest heavens, but he was disrespecting his own son. You do not do that. If you want your children to respect you, you have to respect your children because they will treat you the way you treat them. Listen to them if you... Kaya hindi nakikinig yan. Ikaw, nakikinig ka ba sa mga anak mo? I always tell people, be kind. Be kind to your spouse. Be kind to your children. Napaka-basic. You've got to be deliberate. You've got to be deliberate. Number 7. Malapit na tayo matapos. Number 7, serve the suffering. Many times we're so wrapped up in our own little worlds. Alam niyo, when the pandemic happened, March last year, one of the things I decided to do, kasi I began to see people nung pandemic, March, April, May, ayan na, people started hindi makatrabaho, people, I said to myself, what's gonna happen? And so one of the things I decided to do, and my family knows this, every time we ate breakfast, lunch, dinner, we would pray before meals. Alam mo, when we pray before meals, this is my prayer: Lord, thank you for the food. May pagkain kami. Lord, gamitin mo naman kami para magpakain sa iba. Kasi alangan naman kami lang may pagkain. That was my prayer every time we would gather. And I would pray that prayer, Lord, help us feed others. And what I wanted to do was I wanted to tell my children, we cannot just live in our own little world na tayo were okay, pero yung iba hindi. Because God calls us to be our brother's keeper. Alam niyo sa Bible, may kwento sa umpisa ng Genesis. Si Cain, pinatay niya si Abel, yung kapatid niya. Tapos si Lord, hinanap niya si Abel. Pumunta siya kay Cain. Cain, where's your brother Abel? Tinanong ni Cain, am I my brother's keeper? That was written in the book of Genesis, the first book in the Bible. I want to believe this, and I want to share this with you, my reflection. Yung buong Biblia, from Genesis all the way to the Revelations, is an answer to that question. That first question, am I my brother's keeper? And the whole Bible's answer is yes. We are our brother's keeper. If you want to rebound, don't just think about yourself. Think about the people who are suffering around you. That's why what we did, all this pandemic, kasi I'm part of the feast, Light of Jesus. Maraming tayong feasts all over the country. Yung mga small gatherings to, ang tawag namin feast, fiesta. What they did, mga maliliit na grupo to, we started feeding tricycle drivers, yung mga nawalan ng trabaho, we started feeding them, and we were able to feed thousands of people. And it was so beautiful. And I just wanted to share that with you. Number 8, you're not just a body, you have a spirit. And if you want to rebound, connect with God. Connect with God. Tell God, Lord, gusto ko bumangon. Yung crisis na to, ang hirap ng buhay. Father, I want to rebound. You've got to rebound with Him, with you, beside you. This is the message that I want to share with you today. What I want to do now is, just before we go to a Q&A, magdasal lang tayo sandali, if that's okay. If that's okay. I just want to pray for you and bless you. And just pray with me right now. Father, thank you so much for the opportunity that we have together. And I pray for blessings for those who are with us right now. I pray for, thank you, Father. Thank you for being here. And Lord, kilala mo lahat ng tao na you know their needs. Friends, just say this prayer with me. Repeat after me. Lord, you know what I need. I surrender my life to you. I surrender my problems to you. I surrender my future to you. I thank you for your blessings. Many times I take for granted your blessings. Thank you. Thank you so much for blessing me. My dear friends, if you can put your hands over your chest, gayahin niyo ako. Tapos sabay-sabay tayo. I am totally, completely, and perfectly loved. Isa pa. I am totally, completely, and perfectly loved. Last. I am totally, completely, and perfectly loved. Amen. 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 Thank you so much. Pat, can you come back? Thank you.
I almost couldn't come back because I just wanted to keep doing this. I am totally and completely and absolutely loved and grateful for that talk. To be honest with you, Brother Bo, it's really what we all needed to hear. Looking at the feedback of so many people, this is exactly where we all needed to be, right? It's never by accident. We're all here for a reason, and that is to really make sure that we all know how to win when it comes to our overall health, and knowing how to take care of our not just physical body but our spirits and mentality. And daming mga questions. And actually, one of the questions that I need to ask is a phone-in question, and this is it. What will you advise to parents with an only child, with one child who's battling a chronic illness and becoming hopeless? The relationship is being affected already, plus nakakadagdag pa ang pandemic feels or fears and feels. I mean, that's a real situation that I'm sure many are faced with.
Absolutely, Pat. I've dealt with a lot of these cases. And I always tell mommy and daddy and the entire family, just to be patient with the child. Kasi pag ang anak, going through this, talagang, he would like to be isolated, close the room, stay there, just keep on reaching out and find a way to be able to express love, to say we understand what you're going through, but then to also gently be able to pull that person out of the isolation. Halika labas tayo, halika find a way. I know it's difficult to get out, but there are ways of going out. I know. So, hey, Brother Bo, 18 and below NCR, hirap. What, there's no way. There is a way. Find a way. I know families who find a way to be able to go out. I know they cannot go to restaurants. I know they cannot go to malls, but they can go to other places where children are allowed. So you've got to find a way to be able to bring them out. And don't do it alone as a family. Reach out. They may have some friends who can reach out to them. Kausapin niyo, huy, pwede naman ko. I-reach out mo naman yung aking anak, Pag talagang seryoso, go to counseling. Reach out for professional help. Importante yan.
And even with physical distancing and all these limitations, I know sometimes all of us are so tired of being in this digital space, but there still is that option to be able to reach out. But you're right. I have children. I have 2 teenagers and a baby, and being able to go out and connect with other people when allowed and safe, it really changes everything. So we hope that you find those connections with yourself and with others as well. Here's a nice question, and this is about relationship. And I know that part of what you talked about is really, making sure that you focus on family, which is your 6th point. Pero ito, how do you stop overthinking in a relationship? Meron bang ganun when you're overthinking and you're overly focused, I suppose?
Yes. Pat, I really think that before you have a good relationship with someone else, you need to have a good relationship with yourself. You cannot accept the weaknesses of someone else if you don't accept your own weaknesses. You cannot forgive someone else if you don't forgive yourself. And that's where overthinking comes from. Why is my wife like that? Why is my girlfriend like this? Bakit ganito siya? And mahal ba niya ako? Parang hindi naman. Overthinking. I will recommend, wait a minute. The problem is not outside you. The problem is inside you. If you are overthinking, I will recommend that you take a muna, sit down, and I want you to ask those basic questions. Do you like yourself? Do you like yourself? Do you actually celebrate who you are? Kasi pag hindi mo pag ginagawa yun, ay nako, mag-overthink ka talaga. So work on that first. And believe me, when you begin to like yourself, accept yourself, celebrate who you are, yung partner mo, yung people in your life, yung relationship mo, ay nako, magpapasalamat sa Diyos. Kasi biglang, parang ang gaan-gaan ng relationship namin. Eh, kasi ikaw, you, you began to become a better person. So there.
You cannot give what you don't have, right? So you
Absolutely.
gotta be able to love yourself to be able to love others as well. But what if you're in a toxic relationship? How do you end that? Serious question, Yana, brother Bo.
Serious, serious. You know, first of all, you've got to admit, are you being abused? You know, there's a difference between annoyance and abuse. Kung annoyance lang naman, I mean, all of us are imperfect, right? I mean, I'm imperfect. My partner is imperfect. So may mga imperfections, irritations, annoyance, normal yan. But if it crosses the boundary to abuse, ibang usapan na yan. Verbal abuse, emotional abuse, physical abuse. Ayan na. You do not tolerate that. You actually confront the issue. You tell the person, I will not tolerate this. If this is repeated, I'm walking out. I'm sorry, you know? And when I say I'm walking out, it doesn't mean that you're cutting off the relationship forever. All you're saying is this is it. This is the boundary. Don't cross that. You know, if you cross that, then it might be that it's the end of the relationship. But you know, you of course you will recommend that that person seeks counseling, you know, kasi problema yan, huh? That abuse is a crime. I mean, when especially physical abuse, that's a crime. You don't play with that, you know. So you want to be strong and you want to give tough love. Love is gentle and tough at the same time. So there you've got to, anong tawag doon? You've got to say this is it. This is the hangganan. Ito yung limits ko.
Understand, yeah. But in marriage, right? And this is the next question. When it comes to marriage, it's not like we can just end it just like that. Although this is just asking about kindness in marriage. What do you do when a spouse is not kind to you?
Ang gandang tanong, no? But I will really recommend to look at your communication, because kung, you know, let's say you feel that your husband is not kind, then go have a heart to heart, you know, conversation with him, and then be able to first of all share what are his strengths. So bago mo sabihin yung mga negative qualities niya, you say, alam mo, sweetheart, I just want to thank God and thank you. You are hardworking, you know, you're very responsible, you know, lagi kang, I see you working hard sa trabaho mo because you want to feed us and be, you know, tell all the good things. And then after that you say, and can I just share something about, and then it's an I statement lagi, ha? It's not you are bad. No, you say, I feel that sometimes, you know, when you do this, I feel disrespected. Feelings ko lang naman to, sweetheart, you know. So hopefully it will not overnight bigla magbabago siya, pero as you keep on deepening your conversation and communication, hopefully as the time goes on, changes will happen. And then again, if you need, go through marital counseling, because that's something that's possible. Online marital counseling now.
Very familiar. I mean, my husband and I, we've been married for almost 17 years, and we've gone through a lot of ups and downs down there. And it really is that process of communicating how we feel and not really pointing at the other person who seems to be causing that. But I like this also. Now we're gonna look at the family and not just marriage. This question is about actually believing in God. What do you do, and what would your advice be to a family member or to a person whose family member no longer believes in God, although they accept that there is God? That's more of a relational issue, really, with the Lord.
Yes, Pat. And I always tell people, you cannot win someone to faith with your words only. Um, you know, faith is something that you draw the person by being God's love to that person. Maniniwala siya na may Diyos kung ikaw at ang buhay mo, yung trato mo sa Kanya, pag-ibig ng Diyos. Yung how you treat that person, your kindness, your respect. So don't bring the person into debates or arguments. Uy, maniwala ka kay Lord. Because wag na lang yung kasi hindi siya naniniwala kay Lord, quote unquote. The problema ni Lord yan, ikaw, your work is to love the person, befriend the person, care for that person, and then pray for the person. Now one day, little by little, magigising siya, oo nga, si Lord totoo. And you were there. You were there in that person's life.
And honestly, we have to really pray for these people and allow the Lord to really work in their hearts, and really pray for God to really have that relationship with them and have that walk. Paano kung galit, Brother Bo? Ang ganda nito. Ano ang suggestion para mawala ang galit sa puso natin? Medyo personal, okay? Hindi yung puso niya, puso natin.
Yes, if you are feeling angry, my best solution there is to go to God if you have a relationship with God, and then pour out your anger. Ibig sabihin, you feel your anger, never deny it, never say, I'm not angry. No. Feel the anger, but in the presence of God. Importante yan. When you admit that you're angry, but in the presence of God, and then surrender that anger to the Lord. You do not want, alam mo, ang anger, may ano yan hindi mo pwedeng i-deny, kailangan i-acknowledge mo na galit ka. But you do not decide based on your anger. Feelings are there as a window to your soul. Ibig sabihin, bintana siya to know yourself more. So, accept that you are angry, surrender that to God, and then ask Him, what should you do? And usually, God will lead you to forgive the person. On your own, you cannot do it, which is why we need God. And so you tell God, Lord, ayokong patawarin siya. Sa totoo lang. So you pray. This is the most beautiful prayer you can pray. Lord, I do not want to forgive him. Help me to forgive him. Yung dasal lang na yon, okay na. It will start there. Help me to forgive. And God's gonna do it for you.
I just wanted to share, I'm going through this series also, and it's about, winning the battle in our minds and changing our mindset. And there's really this neuro path that we keep going down. And when you keep telling yourself, I can't forgive, yung neuro path na yan it will naturally go there. But if you start forgiving, and then it creates that new neuro path, that action of forgiveness just opens it up. And I just wanted to share that, because in relation to that, this question's interesting. A bit of a challenge for you, Brother Bo. When depressed or hopeless, is it better to go to psychologist or counsel with a religious person?
Ngayon, at least in my circles, people who have faith, whether they be missionaries or priests or pastors, alam mo, we already combined psychology and insights. Nag-aral na. Ako, I went through counseling courses, So I would recommend that you go to somebody as a psychologist, for example, who has a relationship with God also, because then that person can bring the spiritual aspect inside and pray for you. So ngayon, hindi na wala nang division, wala nang wall na ito science, ito faith. There's been a combination. Now, saying that, pag clinical depression, professional help yan. You go to a psychiatrist, you go to a psychotherapist, importante yan. Pero, for many people, I would say it's not, hindi naman clinical yung problema. Yung talagang people there's this mild depression, there's this anxiety problems that all of us go through. There's a difference between persistent, serious psychological diseases, so professional help yan. Pero for most people, they need somebody to listen to them. They need somebody to, just be able to journey with them through whatever difficulty they're going through. Yan, pwedeng tayo dyan. Pwedeng ako yan.
But you know, honestly, Brother Bo, I was about to say Doc Bo. Brother Bo, you know, I have a lot of friends that also seek the counsel of professionals, and they're fully booked. To be honest, and I'm not talking about psychologists, but counselors.
Yeah,
Right now are honestly fully booked. So I feel that this community of people who can really help people, whether they are lay doctors or people of faith or even friends and family, we really ought to be busy. And I like really what you said here, Diba, about serving the suffering. It's not just about the suffering being poor, but I think we need to really watch out for those people who are hurting, watch out for those signs. And
that's right.
service, right? We just ask them how we can pray for them, how we can help. And I like this also. Ang ganda ng mga questions natin kasi somehow nako-connect. You know, how can I tell the grandparents? So she's speaking as a parent, or he or she is speaking as a parent. How can I tell the grandparents that the pressure they are putting on the child, their grandchild, is resulting to sadness and feeling of worthlessness to the child?
Oh no. Oh no. And yes, I know it'll be very, very difficult, but you have to communicate that. Or else, kawawa naman yung mga lolo at lola also. You will not bring your child anymore to them. They will miss their apo. So you have to be honest with the lolo and the lola and say, Mommy, Daddy, my child is feeling this, is feeling worthless because of the pressure. I know your intention is good. Of course, mahal na mahal mo yung apo nyo. Talaga naman, your intention is pure and loving. Kaya lang ito yung effect. So please, can we adjust? So there, there's no alternative than honest communication.
Right. Words can be so powerful. They really are there. God has given us words to build up people and uplift people. But sometimes these words that we utter aren't very nice. And this next question, honestly, is about asking how do you see your spouse, or what do you say to a spouse that keeps on saying bad words when he's drunk, but when it's normal, he's loving? I think that it's obvious, no? They should kind of stay away from certain things.
Yes, absolutely. OMG. Ay nako, ako ang gagawin ko, i-video ko yun. Tapos because sometimes they don't know how horrible they look. And alam mo, alcoholism is a problem, huh? And they can't just quit. So I will recommend that they go through Alcoholics Anonymous, but that comes through an intervention. An intervention means, where 2 or 3 or 4 people in the family and even friends gang up on the person and say, you have a problem. Kasi usually they're in denial na, alcohol, no, paminsan-minsan lang yan. No, this is what's happening to you. And then you show them proof. You show them proof. Yeah. You have a problem, you're uncontrollable, and there.
I really like that. It just reminded me of what I saw an article written a few months ago, that during this pandemic, one of the businesses or the industries that really boomed are the alcohol. It really went up, and so many people are really going to that for coping mechanisms, and it's really sad. But when you do correct, this is what I learned also, and I've been a recipient of this. When you do correct a behavior, do it in love. You still do it lovingly, because then otherwise, a harsh answer will never actually quell the spirit. So be kind with your words. But here, how do you rebound as a team at work? I like questions like this.
That's right. And I think this applies to to most of our listeners now, to the 700 plus listening to us. All of you are working, and you're part of the Maxicare family. And by the way, I'm a Maxicare customer, just like you. When we are at work, when we are with our team, I will recommend certain things. Number one, before going straight to work, meaning to say before you talk about work, before you talk about the agenda, before you talk about the deadlines and the projects, You know, the first 5 minutes is to actually connect as human beings. I will recommend. Ito yung ginagawa ko. When we have meetings, so let's say we start at 8 o'clock in the morning, I will always use the first 10-15 minutes. You know, how are you? Oh, kumusta yung, you mentioned about your kid the other day, the other week, and what happened then? Oh, kumusta na si mommy? Nasa hospital pa ba siya? You know, it's the personal first. That's what I establish as a boss. I always establish that we're all human beings. We're going through something, and we need to look at each other face to face, even if it's just online. I always start that, and I'll recommend that. How do you rebound in the office? How do you rebound as a team in corporate? I tell people, you're not just workers, you're human beings. Treat yourselves as human beings. Ask how you are, connect, touch base, and work will be so much easier and better.
Thanks, Brother Bo. This is going to be our last question, although I wish we could keep this conversation going because it's just so full of knowledge. They're asking, I'm kind of curious if you also have been into a situation for you. This is Brother Bo. This is for you. If you have been in a situation where you felt down or depressed, how did you manage that situation, and what inspires you to be an inspiration for others?
I actually went through a depression some 5-6 years ago. So many things happened at that year. First, my mom died. My mom passed away. And I was close to my mom. And so when she passed away, you know, I said to myself, you know, kaya ko to, kaya ko to. But then as the months wore on, I really felt something was not right. Plus, I think I could have handled it, except may combination. There were so huge problems in my ministry and at work. Na yung dalawang yon, my mom passing away and then huge problems at work, that the burden was just so much that one morning I woke up and I really felt there's something wrong with me. It was all dark and I felt bad and sad. And then the next morning is still the same. I didn't want to stand up from bed, wanted to cover my head with the blanket. And it went on day after day after day. And I knew there was something wrong. And so the first thing I did was to acknowledge that there was something wrong. Number two, call up friends and say, can you pray for me? I think, you know, I'm going through something. And I'm very grateful that those friends called me up and visited me and just listened to me, did not lecture me, did not tell me what to do. They just said, we're here for you. And we pray for you and we love you. And so the third thing that I did was I did not rush myself to, no, I want to be well. I want to be well. No, I said, okay, this is going to be a journey. And I'm going to go through this process where, you know, God's going to teach me something. So it lasted for 4 months. And I just wanted to share that to everybody, that it was a painful, but looking back, a beautiful experience, because I'm stronger now and I understand people more. And I really, really think that my faith in God is deeper. So there, yes, I go through these depressions, and what inspires me, the love of God and the love of the people around me.
Uh, really, we really are ready to rebound, aren't we? We can be ready at any time. And thank you for encouraging us because you were just so honest with your own situation. And I think that really gives people the courage, no, to get going and to keep moving and just rebound. And I wanted to ask Brother Bo before we let you go, because we will let you go just about now. Can we ask you for your final message for our Maxicare members?
Yes, you know, life is tough, but I want everybody to believe that there is a God who thinks of you and is very fond of you. He really is. You know, when he thinks of you, he smiles. And sometimes we're so hard on ourselves. We really are our worst critic. And I want you to believe that when God looks at you, he knows of our weaknesses. He knows of our mistakes, but he focuses on our strengths. He focuses on your goodness. He really does. He focuses on your beauty. And so when he looks at you, he will say, I love you. You're amazing. You're wonderful. And you're mine. God bless you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Brother Bo. That was beautiful. What a valuable experience for all of our Maxicare members tonight. Thank you so much, and we hope to see you again soon. Wow. Thank you all for participating in this wonderful event, and also for sharing all of those great questions that really gave a lot of insight about what you're going through, for being so honest and open about everything. We appreciate you, honestly. Thank you for being so engaged all throughout this event. To our Maxicare members, of course, we will invite you now to take a few moments to answer a feedback form, but you do it actually after this event. But right now, we will be sharing a link on the chat and also a QR code that we're flashing right now on the screens. Your feedback would be most appreciated. Although I see all of your feedback, all the people who are so grateful, who are giving some wonderful, wonderful messages that they are blessed, that this is wonderful. And it's just been an amazing experience for all of us. Thank you so much. So make sure you guys share that also on the feedback form. Now, though, we will bless 3 people and announce the winners of our raffle draw, who were randomly selected by our staff. And just a reminder, 1 will get a laptop bag, very useful. 1 will get a foldable umbrella, very useful. And 1 will get a mini clutch bag. And they are... Ta-da! Rossini Guatoto of BPI, Asia United Bank's Agnes Santos, and Caroline Eusebio of Lufthansa Technique Philippines. Congratulations to all of you. Did you know that our Maxicare team will get in touch with you guys? Yes, they will. They will get in touch with all of you in claiming your prizes. Congratulations. Now, before you go, please participate in this really quick poll. Now, this first question is so important. This is like an affirmation. It's one of these type of questions. Are you ready? The first question is, do you want to live your best life? Yes, of course, or oo, syempre. Dalawa lang yan. Of course, we all want to live our best lives, right? That's why we're ready to rebound. I love the talk. Can we please just do it again? That was so wonderful. And all of us, almost all of us said yes, but the rest said oo. So yes, thank you so much. Now, we want you guys to live your best life. So which topics would you like to see in our next Wellness Fridays? You can choose more than one. Proper nutrition during the pandemic. Sabi ni Brother Bo, importante yan, yung mga exercise and everything. Diabetes, diagnosis, treatment, and management of it. How to be a productive work from home employee, or PCOS, yung symptoms, causes, and treatment nito. Or do you want a talk on COVID-19 vaccines effects? Please share with us what you guys are thinking, what you would be interested in joining, as I just quickly scroll through all of this. Thank you so much, guys. Ang bilis yung mag-answer ng survey for some of you. A lot of people want to know more about how to be a productive work from home employee, and right behind that, proper nutrition during the pandemic. Yes, and dinner time na isipin natin mabuti yan. And COVID-19 vaccines effects. Thanks so much for taking the time to answer our quick poll question. I'm sure you enjoyed this experience, but please do share it on your social media. And when you do, please use the hashtags Live Your Best Life and Maxicare Wellness Fridays. Please tag Maxicare also when you do it, please. You guys can tag them on FB. It's at Maxicare Healthcare Corp. Their IG is at Maxicare Healthcare. And then they have a really awesome IG for their health and wellness group. That's Maxicare Health and Wellness. And you tag them when you share about your wonderful experiences, because they want to know and they want to keep you guys engaged. And don't forget, you can also subscribe to their YouTube channel, and it is Maxicare Healthcare Corporation. Now, do you want to learn more about their products? You guys can go to www.shop.maxicare.com.ph. And if you have questions, you can also send them a message to their FB Messenger. But when it comes to the Maxicare Wellness Fridays questions that you may have, you can email them at maxicarewebinar@maxicare.com.ph. See you guys at our next Maxicare Wellness Fridays. It will be on July 8th at 5 p.m. And we will have a talk about COVID-19 vaccines, adverse effects with Dr. Maricia Stella T. Recto. The QR code for the registration will be flashed on your screens right now, right here, right here. Make sure you guys take a screenshot of that one. And make sure you guys register early, so go straight to that QR code. That ends our event for tonight. Thank you so much for being with us this evening. We hope you enjoyed and you were able to take away, I'm sure you were, a lot of meaningful information. Thanks again, everyone. God bless you guys. I'm Patricia Bermudez-Hizon. Now we all know that with Maxicare, you can live your best life.